Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the We Got Y'all podcast. I am your girl, Ray P. And of course, I'm not at the desk alone. I am joined by my co host, anchor, co chair, number one stunner, Road Dog,
Ah,
Kyron, aka K Rich. What's going on, friend?
you know me. I don't need no introduction in this. Shout out
Hey.
to you, man. What's going on? I'm doing
I
well. How are
feel
you?
good. I'm good. I'm good. It's a gloomy day, but I'm
Mm.
bringing the sunshine.
Hey, there you go. As you always do. As
Period.
you always do. Fall is upon us, Ray P.
It is. It
It
is.
really is. Kind of came quick.
I made chili on Sunday.
It's crazy. I bought chili ingredients to make this week. Good
It's that
chili. First
time.
chili of the year. First
That
chili of the
first
year.
chili of the year. And
Yeah.
I used my Dutch oven. I didn't even do it in a crock pot. Felt good about it. I'm like, okay, put some cornbread from scratch. Like
I was stun on
I'm
these
getting
hoes.
I'm getting back into
Stun on them.
my
Stun on them. The Dutch oven, the cornbread from scratch.
I was
Tis the season.
tis the season. I was telling my homegirl we losing recipes. So I've made a commitment. When I'm home for more than 2.5 days, I will cook at least twice.
You might so you cooking when you
At
home. All
least
right. Well,
twice. Yeah, I'm gonna cook while I'm at home. So as you all can
all right,
see,
well,
I'm at home. I only had to travel 1.5 days last week. This week I'm here all week, other than some little motion, some little moves I might be making. Otherwise, we in the
motion everywhere, Ray P at.
motion everywhere.
Motion everywhere, Ray P at. Um,
Period.
I was just about to say something. I can't remember what it was. Something silly, some silly shit about
See,
you. Um,
look at God
but yeah,
protect.
glad you said I know, right? Yeah, because I was definitely about to clown. But I can't remember what it was, so it's all good. But shout out to you, Ray P's cooking show coming soon. You know what I mean? Get the cooking
Mm-mm.
pod going. It's cooking show. Might be
Hell,
do something like that. But before we get there, we're excited to have you back. We definitely appreciate all of you for
for
tuning
sure.
in. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And we're back with the morning show, season 4,
Yes.
episode 4. Love the questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's for you and for the show, Rachel. Love the questions.
I love the
It was
question.
directed by Stacy Passan and written by Christiana Mbakwe Medina. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly. But the synopsis: a breaking news story brings the understaffed TMS crew to the brink. Rachel, got a lot of stuff going on, but
Mhm.
maybe not the most exciting episode. A
Yeah.
lot of action, maybe not a lot of entertainment. Kind of felt like a filler episode. What were your opening thoughts as you watched Love the Questions?
I'm gonna tell you, it didn't feel like a filler. It was kind of triggering, because as someone who is on a plane multiple
That's
times a
real.
week,
That's real.
I'm like, oh Lord, please not another plane crash episode of anything. But luckily, they made it safely to their, well, not necessarily to the destination, but at least they landed safely. Minus a door flying off. That is like, if I am a window seat person in the lowest of keys, ever since all these Boeing stories about these plane crashes and doors flying off, I have been paranoid. However, I hate the aisle and I definitely hate the middle. So I'm just gonna believe that there's a hedge of protection between me and the door. So thank you, Lord, for that. But yeah. Not a great episode, but I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't bored to tears. To your point, there was a lot of action. We see the, dare I say, ramifications of Alex meeting with Justice last week and the interview of all that, even though she didn't use Alex's soundbite or story, but I think her brief tidbit about her father definitely played a part in the article. We see the return of Chip again with some breaking news. We see Celine answer some questions. She hates Stella, even prior to the information that came to her. We see Cory flail a little bit. It was decent. It was 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7.
Yeah, it gets like that when you have when the show turns into ER or Grays or something like that, where there's something that happens that brings everybody. So the control room,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily a dominant character in the show, it became one this episode.
Yeah.
It was the first time all season. So when you spend that much time in the control room, especially without your main characters, we're used to seeing Chip in there, we're used to seeing Mia in there. None of them are around. So we have Layla holding down the fort, and you have this big news story, but it felt a little bit different and
For
didn't give
sure.
as much time to kind of direct towards other people. But I think that was intentional. Because even the Yanko of it all, like Yanko's storyline, and
He
just
finally
I
gets his moment.
understand finally gets his moment and it gets taken away, and which
For
is pure
sure.
Yanko material at this point. That's just kind of that character and his luck. But yeah, just drawing it into that moment where the big event happens versus the character development, which was still cool because they're really building it up for next week. Because when we think about it, next week's the halfway point, and they definitely they left a lot of meat in the bone to talk about next week.
For
When
sure.
it comes to Mia, because Mia her presence was felt even though she wasn't in the episode.
And I
We
think that
haven't
was
seen
the point.
absolutely
For
100%.
sure.
We haven't seen Chris in a couple weeks, minus a brief like 10-second
Yeah.
clip pre-recorded in this episode. And I know she's a central, if you look at the synopsis for next week, she's a central focal point of that episode as well, and some things that she had going on. So I was good with it. It was cool to kind of get to the next spot, but not the most like, oh man, did you watch Morning Show yesterday type of episode.
Sure.
So with that being said, where do you want to start? I mean, we got Alex, we got Bradley, we got Cory, we have the control room, we have Yanko. Well, so let me just ask you this. Let me just, before you even ask, let me just ask you this. If someone were to propose to you the way that Yanko planned on proposing to his, okay.
No.
I didn't even get it out.
Don't do it. If you're going to propose to me like that, then you don't know me at all.
Rachel, the Yanko cold open, him breaking the fourth wall, like, yeah, baby. Like, as soon as the idea of doing something like that made my skin crawl. Like, it made my skin crawl. Like, just the thought, let alone actually planning it and doing it. Like, I could never imagine doing something like that. Now, I ain't Yanko, but still, that's so weird to me.
I mean, what I have learned about in my time in entertaining men of a particular age is that those who are unmarried and have not been married, I am finding more and more that they want that, I don't want to say bridal moment, but they want that flair, the glitz and the glam. They too want the attention and the photo ops and this, that, and the third.
Interesting.
And so here is Yanko, somebody who wears eyeliner for work, not just the standard makeup, but he has a particular look. So that lets us know he has a particular eye for a certain kind of flair. So there's that. He is of a particular age. His last real storyline was the Claire of it all, and we see how that went. So here he
We
is.
see how it's going.
And we see how it's going. So here he is wanting to do something grand for this new, young, beautiful, vivacious Ariana that he's with. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
while it's not for me, I get it in understanding Yanko. Like I'm not surprised that he wanted to use this moment to get his shit off. Like, look at me. I sing, I dance, I'm a lover. Here we are. But no, don't play with me like that.
So let me take it to another area too. And we learn about the Claire of it all. We obviously know from season 1, him and Claire were a thing. HR got involved. They became serious, but then Claire said that's a little bit too much. I like sneaking around with you versus actually being with you.
Yeah, crazy.
But Yanko's always held a soft spot. We've seen in other seasons where he's passed one of her friends in the street and asked about how Claire is. They actually saw each other in season 2 or season 3. I can't remember which one it was. But just the sheer mention of her name, and we'll get into the Bradley Alex of it all, her mention of her name and Yanko hearing that caused him to, in a way, take back his proposal. He never officially proposed, but his fiance knew about it.
Yeah.
She knew what was going on. And he has that hesitation, like, you know what, I want to do it when you're surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not proposing, even though she knows. He says he wants to wait. Now, Rachel,
Yeah.
if you know that somebody has a ring and plans on proposing to you that day, and then changes his mind for the future, how are you going to take that?
I would
Would
need
you
to
be
have a
like, what? Like,
I would need to have a better understanding as to why. So Yanko is gifted a bit of grace with the plane crash of it all. Because candidly, the control room is right. You don't really want to go behind that. You don't. However, especially if I know in the intimacy of our home or whatever sacred shared space we have, let's do that. But now you don't want to when you want to surprise me. Like, you're not going to surprise me because now I'm going to be anticipating it every time we're together. So
mm-hmm.
no. So now I have some side eyes. Now I'm going to have some questions.
Right. And of course, Yanko would never come out and just say, oh, I heard my ex's name. Didn't even see her.
Yeah.
Just heard that she's in town. And that was enough to look at my girl that I'm with, my fiance, the woman I plan on marrying. I bought the ring. That's enough for me to look at her and say, you know what? Let me hold off. Because Yanko believes in signs. He thinks this is a sign. Obviously, I'm sure we'll see the two of them. But Claire has changed a lot since we last saw her.
Yeah.
And since Yanko's last seen her. So we'll see what that interaction brings. Maybe Yanko doesn't care. Like, he's got it bad for Claire. He's got it bad for Claire. And that's one thing. If you don't know anything else about Yanko, he gonna ride for Claire.
He's got it bad for Claire, but also, is it the way that things were left?
I don't want to say you too old for that, Yanko, but I feel like you should have enough life experience to where you realize things just happen sometimes. Like, and it's not ideal. And I'm not saying you shouldn't chase answers, but at some point, that's more understandable when you're 20, 21, 25, 30. When you're 50, I don't know if Yanko's really 50. Alex made a joke saying it only took him 50 years. But when you're of that age, I feel like life has at least taught you, like, you know what? And Claire has taught him. Claire has taught him. This has happened. He's seen Claire since then. You know you don't like it. And I think everybody's been through that where one person wanted to end things and the other one wasn't there yet. Like, I'm still going to be a hanger on, or I'm still going to show interest just in case you change your mind. I want to be here. I think we've all probably experienced that or know somebody who has.
Yeah.
But in the same vein, in that same conversation, you can also reach the point where you're like, you know what, I'm tired of waiting for this person.
For sure.
And it wasn't the best. Like, I still wish them luck. You know what? I might still actually rock with them if things do change, but I personally can't keep my life on hold while I'm waiting on it to happen. So I'm gonna keep going. And I feel like he should know that at this point. So you're planning a life with this woman. You bought a ring. That's a big commitment. I just don't it's gonna have to take, if that's the case, then don't propose. If you know you still have to X that out and kind of close that chapter before you can move forward and take something serious. He tried to convince himself, and that's what we all do, right? We convince ourselves that we're past a situation or past a person. It's been enough time. There's no realistic way I can ever be with this person anyway, so I might as well move on and pretend. But once you see that person, everything comes back up. He just heard her name. I can't reiterate that enough. He just heard her name and immediately got caught off track. Yeah, man, Claire out here. That sweet, that nasty, that gushy stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but Claire got him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to Yanko, man. We'll see
Shout
what
out
happens.
to Yanko. I actually hope he does end up proposing to Ariana. Maybe. I think he and Claire are gonna run into each other. They kind of have to at this current juncture. And it's not gonna go the way he might think it's gonna go. So I want him to move forward and just get over it. So that'll be interesting to see. Let's go to Alex.
Let's go to Alex.
Alex
what an episode.
Alex has an interesting episode. She has an interesting start to her day. You know, she is watching the news. She's knowing that she's got to get Mia back on board because what the fuck is going on? But then she is interrupted from all of that with a call from the doorman saying that her father is there.
Just popped
And
up.
we know that they don't have a pop up at my home relationship, especially not first thing in the morning. Mr. Levy is in a robe. So that's how you know he wasn't playing when he gets to Alex's house. That's how you know he's serious about it. So basically, what ends up happening here is he learns that Yale is going to post an article saying that he plagiarized his first book. We don't know if this is true. It might be a gray area with that, with his explanation of it, saying he was working with a young doctoral student and, you know, they ran ideas, but I didn't steal her work.
Mm-hmm.
Third, and he essentially blames Alex based off of her time with Justice. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Um,
Justice.
I'm sorry.
Justice, you're
Oh
right.
yeah, based off her time with Justice in the previous or episode before. So, what do you make of that? We know he's wrong.
Yeah.
Let's just plan that. She was always going to run a negative story. But what do you think of his immediate reaction
Um,
to that and to Alex?
it makes me a lot more interested in their family background.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, I would love to see a flashback, young Alex and her dad episode to kind of see how it got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really popped out that has nothing to do with the show. Jeremy Irons, who plays Alex's dad,
Mm-hmm.
when he was going off on her, I heard, for those who don't know, he voiced Scar in The Lion King, and I heard Scar come out. Like I heard that tone and that just kind of him getting there. And obviously British actor and whatnot. It's got an Oscar the whole nine, but I was just reminded by that because I haven't really thought about Jeremy Irons nor seen him in anything outside of this. But the more fascinating thing, because we understand Alex and her dad don't have a relationship. They made that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was expected. The explanation was a little interesting because all we know is how he saw it. How
Yeah.
Dr. Levy saw it. We don't know the full story if that's it. Things can get
It's
blurry,
probably
a lot of
not.
gray area. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. And he also acknowledged, and here's why I think it's not, to your point. He also acknowledged that, old white man. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
they after us. They getting us out of here. So they're not gonna believe me without any other evidence.
Right.
So him even acknowledging that
Mm-hmm.
made me realize, okay, then cool. Because we've seen that multiple times in this series.
For sure.
Mitch and Martin Short's character had a whole multiple scenes about this whole thing, right? And the way this is looked at. But the fascinating thing to me was the justice of it all.
Yeah.
That's a bold move. So what I'm assuming is, I don't know where she got the plagiarism allegations, but Alex said something along the lines of, once he wants something,
Mm-hmm.
or once he knows that it's obtainable, he'll do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah.
So I think that was used along with whatever information was found to say, all right, allegation.
Mm-hmm.
And to take this and try to parlay it into a job at UBN,
That is some sort of audacity.
Yo, and I love Alex's response. Like, that's not how this works. Like, dad or not. And I feel it. You want to do, but that's how politics as a whole, in my opinion, that's how it works. They find something, they find a weak spot, and now you owe them something.
Mm-hmm.
Do this for me, and now I owe you something. And the cycle keeps going, and that's why shit can't get done. But either way, dad or not, I don't even fuck with my dad enough for me to offer you
For
a
me
job.
to do that.
Yeah, you
And
should have done research.
And this is the thing. As a journalist, you spent 2 hours with me you didn't do any real work, because you would have known that we don't have the type of relationship for me to sacrifice my journalistic integrity
Yeah.
behind his bullshit, behind his name. Like, it's just not that deep for me. It's not that deep for us, unfortunately. And her father knew that. And that was the thing for me. Everybody wants to get over, but he was okay with her, particularly before Dr. Levy knew that she was being blackmailed,
Deep fake.
essentially. Hmm?
Deep faked. Oh,
No.
blackmail for the job. You talking about this one? Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Got you. My bad. My bad.
Before he knew, he was fine with Alex doing whatever she had to do. So I know that that might take something unscrupulous or whatever. Okay, fine. But then when I come back to you like, Dad, she was trying to blackmail me. She wanted some other shit. Like, for real, this really ain't even got nothing to do with you. You are just
Yeah.
food in the water. You know what I'm saying? At this point. And he ain't give a fuck, because he wants
Mm-hmm.
what he wants. And if you think about, he's an old ass man. How long it's taken him to become a dean, to get whatever. He may have had tenure, but you were never offered the dean position. You've been in this and you've wanted and you've wanted. And Alex already told us, when he sets his sights on something, there's nothing that he won't do to get it. And so here we are. We already have a distressed relationship. We're
Mm-hmm.
already not in sync. And now here I am disappointing you again, because you want me to move outside of integrity and just do whatever just because it's you. So that lets me know even further that you might not have copied word for word, but you might have changed some does to us and this is to
Yeah.
that. Therefore, henceforth, whatnot, you know?
Henceforth. As you were talking, it made me think of something pretty interesting. I want to get your thoughts on this. If Alex wasn't a journalist, does she help her dad? Is it the integrity part of being a journalist that can't cause her to do this? If this was another line of work
I
where
don't
your
think
integrity
so.
is not as important, do you? Okay,
Because
you think she's
what else is there that I could be used? She's Alex Levy. You come from this stock. You're always gonna have a quote unquote important job. He's a law professor. Okay, maybe I would have been a lawyer. So am I burying some evidence for you? Am I doing something else? Like, the
so? Let's say
integrity that they
politics.
offer Alex matters.
So I was saying, let's say it's politics, where as I
Hmm.
just mentioned before, a lot of that happens. Like, give my niece a desk job,
Yeah.
the lowest level thing, right?
Hmm.
If that's what Justice was asking for, do you think Alex would have had an issue? Because our issue was integrity, in my opinion. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was helping her, and that's the thing about the relationship. I don't know if it was geared towards I don't really want to help you like that,
Hmm.
or I guess another way of saying this would be if the right person asked Alex to do that, would she
Hmm.
have done it? I guess the answer is no, because we've seen her with the Paul of it all last season. She's not going to risk her integrity. And I think if it was something that didn't require integrity, like
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose sleep if I gave this person this job because it's not going against who I say I am and the work that I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if she, oh, yeah.
To your point, that's an actually a very interesting um way to look at it that I hadn't really thought of, or interesting perspective that I hadn't really considered. Because if justice may be asked, like, look, just put me in the newsroom, just put me in the mail room, I'll work my way up. I think there could have been consideration for that.
Yeah.
But justice ain't one no bullshit job.
And if you Alex,
Hmm.
I wouldn't even trust that.
I wouldn't
Because
even
who's to
trust
say you won't double back? This mailroom shit, I thought I could do it, but this shit
that.
moving too slow. And now I need this.
Not just double back, but then turn around and do some shit to me. Because if you would do it to
Right.
my father, you would do it to me.
100%.
There is
So you
no
already can't be trusted.
there's no loyalty here. So I can't fool with you just off the strength.
Yeah, I'm never gonna look at you and trust you.
Right.
So why would I ever hire you?
Exactly.
You're not of any use to me.
Exactly.
And you're
So
not even you're a college student. Like you're not even a real journalist.
yeah. So yeah,
Respectfully.
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 So shout out to Alex for standing on her P's and Q's, for standing on
Yeah.
her square about that. What else happened with
Awesome sauna.
Alex?
Alex and Bradley. So Alex, as she is in the hallways of the morning show,
Mm-hmm.
someone says, "Hey, you're not gonna guess who I just saw." And of course, Chip is in the office of Bradley's office, should I say? Damn, I don't know why I said it like that. Chip's in Bradley's office, and they look like two kids that got caught doing something. So as
For
Alex
sure.
opens the door, Chips obviously had a boisterous exit from the
Yeah.
morning show. We'll just
Mm-hmm.
call it that. One that Alex mentioned this episode, you're gonna get on there and say fuck 20 times.
Yeah.
But also we know Bradley and Chip are working on the story. Alex wants answers. And one thing about Alex is I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's Jennifer Aniston bringing this to this character. But it's almost like mom walking in. Like, I need answers. I need them right now. No bullshit. Like everybody always folds when Alex comes in the room. Like
Alex
immediately,
is
like,
the
hey man, we
boss
working on the
now.
story. You said what?
Alex is the boss now. She's not just an
Even before she was the boss, she kind
It
of
was
brought.
her shit.
Yeah, you know what, Rachel? She, you know how they say walk around like you own the place. She walked around like she owned the place, and I
For
guess that's what
sure.
it is. Like she couldn't even, and nobody once thought to tell Alex to piss off. Like they
Mm-hmm.
always answer whatever question she had, and she went about it her way. But the real part of that scene to me was the Alex and Bradley of it all. Once Chips left,
Yeah.
or excuse me, not once Chip left, but after the news program, which we'll talk about. But at the end, you know, Bradley's they both had a rough time, long day, crazy story, decompressing, and of course, that's when the vulnerability happens. And Bradley said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I should have told you. I didn't know how." And Alex calls her out on that shit. Like, you knew how, you just didn't want to because you knew what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm tired of your woe is me. I'm the truth teller. I'm this journalist. When you have your own motives, you trying to clean up some shit and the mess that you made when you left here.
Yeah.
And you can't. What did she say? You can't clean the house that you're about to tear down.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? I know your whole goal is to want to clear UBN of all this shit, but there's always going to be something.
For sure.
And I'm the one in charge of fixing it, and we're the one that brought you in against my approval.
Mm-hmm.
And you trying to undo all the shit that I'm doing. Like, I get what you're saying, but it shows the Alex and the two hats of it all too.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not just your co-host. We can dig into stories together. You who, like, wahoo, whoop-de-doo, whatever they say now.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, whatever that shit is. Like, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
You got to stop with this shit. You got to chill. So I love that whole dynamic between them. What did you think about the Alex and Bradley? And Alex kind of saying, Bradley, stop this shit.
Yeah, I thought Alex was totally correct in that, not only because she's the boss, but also there is a level of friendship that you and I had. So I know you, and I know when you full of shit. And so Alex was right to call her out on it because Bradley was not keeping it from Alex just because it's so hush hush. Like, yes, you're protecting your sources, but you're working with Chip. You know how me and Chip are. You know why me and Chip have the relationship that we have at this current juncture. So you are intentionally utilizing people that I have, I don't want to say an issue, but a storied history with to work in secret at my network using my resources. This has some funny shit written all over it. Come on now. Like, if you're gonna do it, and we've talked ad nauseum almost about Alex's integrity. So here it is. If you're gonna do it, do it. You know, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Be for real, be upfront. And when you do the shit, you've got to do it right because you don't have the currency for another mess up. You do not have the room for this not to be airtight. And so when you do it and when you attempt to blow this house down, it better be worth it. I felt Alex.
I feel it 100%. It was one of my favorite Alex scenes
Mm.
because I'm tired. Like I said, the Bradley of it, the RG shucks, Southern
Mm-hmm.
charm, right? Like no, like
Yeah.
let's be real about what this is, and that's the one thing I think anybody can
Mm-hmm.
respect about Alex. I've never said what it like. I've never pretended that it wasn't this.
Yeah,
Everything I wanted to do was on the table, and you see, I'm there now.
for sure.
So
Shout out
we
to
got to
our
call it that.
girl.
Shout out to Alex, man, for real. So the way I'm looking at this is we should probably talk about the control room and the story. Just
Mm-hmm.
touch on that a little bit, and then start weaving into Bradley and Cory because at the end of this, they
For
intersect.
sure. For sure.
And I think that might be a perfect way to kind of end this.
Okay.
So I told you we felt Mia's presence.
Mm-hmm.
The episode actually opens
Absence.
her absence,
Mm-hmm.
but her presence was felt even in her absence.
Yeah.
Um, we actually opened this episode with Alex on the phone. As you said, she's watching the news and leaving a voicemail. Like, please call me back. Help me, please. Like, we need you. We also get Layla,
Mm-hmm.
who was texting her, no response. We need you back. I was happy to see Layla running the show. What did you think about that? Her being next in line. We see the tapping and then getting the reassurance that, hey, you got this. What did you think overall of Layla just being the one in charge? And how do you think the show went?
I don't think anything of it. That's a rough first show to be running.
Yeah.
Not just because of the pressure of the morning show, but you have this great big production that Yanko is anticipating. We got doves and confetti. Like it's already a lot going on that you have to regulate and keep time on and keep the show running. There's that. And then all of this is interrupted by the news of um, the plane door coming off in air. So not necessarily a crash, but a major incident. You have to navigate getting as much information as possible, contacting sources, I don't want to say boots on the ground because they're in the air, but any family that's able to be contacted. Because if you know, once you get to a certain altitude, once you turn that Wi-Fi on, you can send iMessages and communications to your family and whatnot. You can tweet, text, all the things. And as we saw, they're watching the news in real time because the news is also live on the planes. So she has to navigate all of that. Of course, I'm nervous. Of course, I'm anxious because yes, this is my job, but it's not necessarily my time for this to be my job either. Layla might run the lunch hour and it's some bullshit. Ain't nobody everybody's at work except for old people.
That's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? Like, so the pressure that this programming is not the same pressure of the morning show, and then now throw in a potential catastrophe. Yes, I'm tapping. I'm anxious. If it's not my finger, then it's gonna be my foot. Then I'm doodling. I am doing something to cope with the level of stress that I am currently under for this job that I may want, but not right now. I don't want it like this. That's the other thing.
I wasn't even supposed to be here.
Like that. Exactly. So
Especially when. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
So I appreciate the support that she received. Also, funny shit when we see Chip into the control room and whatnot, because that is his lane. That's what Chip did. He ran the morning show. He's Alex's number one, essentially, for however many years prior to his departure. That is an added level of stress. And while he was helpful, it's also like, damn, okay, here come this white savior. Here comes Chip. Does this now will this effort bring him back in here? Like, what does this now mean? Because he does have the connections that I might not have. He does have the experience that I don't have doing this. So while this is stress to the 10th power, for me, it's second nature for him. And he's used to handling crises in real time because he's done it.
Another question for you, since you're talking about this. Is Chip helping out because he has the resources and is useful, or is there some ego and some pride that says I can get this shit done? Like, don't
Two
worry,
things
y'all, I
can be
got
true.
this. Okay.
Two things can be true. Chip is not helping Bradley because he is just so deeply moved by pollution.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's more to it.
Ooh, all right.
Uh-huh.
I think one big motivating factor, at least in my opinion, I want to hear yours. One big motivating factor for Chip is that this was a UBN thing. Like UBN covered this story up and he was there.
Mm-hmm.
To your point about him not caring about pollution like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if Bradley just said I have a story and it didn't have anything to do with the UBN cover up, which at the time he was a part of it, that he might have helped? Do you think he's that much of a journalist where he said, all right, I got you, I'll help out? Or was it the UBN of it all that says, you know what, anytime I can give it to them, I'm going to give it to them?
I think it's the UBN of it all. It's the Bradley of it all. It's, yeah, I'm playing cool with you, Alex, but it's also the Alex of it all. Whether she was involved or not, it's your show now. It's your network now.
Interesting.
I got a side eye for Chip. Appreciate the help, but
Yeah, it's just a weird. It's
to me.
anytime you overstep, and we saw, I think that was last season, maybe when Chip was back producing for Alex, and Mia's told him pretty much like, stay in your fucking lane.
Yeah.
Don't undermine me in my newsroom again. Just because you know this or knew that. Yes, you have the connections, but there's a chain of command. Anything in life
here we
always follows chain of command. Like, that's the one way to piss people off when you break
for
that.
sure.
So
For sure.
that's
So
kind of what it is.
Juxtapose that against what we saw in this week's episode.
Yeah. Because nobody was in charge.
Nobody was in charge.
Because even if Mia was there, she wouldn't have said it at that moment because this is a big story and there was too much going on. But it definitely would have been a scene in the episode.
For sure.
Let me holler at you real quick. Let me pull you to the side and let you know. Because this is the second time. First one's free. The second one, I got to tax you, bro. Like, stop doing this shit. I don't care what your reason were, how healthy you were, whatever the case is. The most fascinating thing before we move on to the Bradley and Cory of it all, the most fascinating thing was the inside look at a control room when you have a breaking story like that. You know, normally things go smoothly, but when you see breaking news, how do people handle that? And we see the interviews being set up, 5 family members. Technology now, as you pointed out, Rachel, I'm seeing their IG lives from the plane.
Yeah.
I see them watching the morning show from the plane. So all of this is in real time, and you get to see how things are set up, screening the calls, getting the fake person, the fake doctor on there, and then cut the beeper. Chip being useful, as we mentioned, the signals. So one thing as Alex and Bradley were talking, you know, if you're okay, give me a signal. If you're not, we'll patch you in. So just seeing all those small details that go into a live show, because you don't have the luxury of hitting pause and saying, you know what, let's come back. Nah, that is what it is. Also, funniest line of the episode to me, black dude in the control room saying it's horrible ad for your airline, incredible ad for your airline's Wi-Fi. Like, just dark humor in a crazy moment. That was kind of wild.
You love it. You love dark humor.
I love it. That shit's crazy.
I'll tell you, as I've said on here many a time, you know, this is what I went to school for. Shout out to Don Reiber, RIP. But working that control room for any of those classes for what was UTTV, that's what let me know I wanted to be talent. Because let me tell you, that shit is already stressful. Making sure you are hitting shit at the right time, making sure the prompter is right. I can be all right on the prompter. I type fast. I'm good with change, but I can't remember what the other board is called officially. But working that board, making sure all of everything else is together, baby. No, So imagine in such a stressful situation, like, girl, ready camera 2. Okay. I'm not ready.
Yeah, relax. Hold on,
I'm
man. What's the
not
button?
ready. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you
So
got to constantly be on point.
you have to constantly be on point because it will literally be your ass. And it is your fault if the graphics aren't right. If the bottom third is off. Or bottom third right.
Yeah. That's a real
So
shit.
yeah, shout
That's
out
real
to
shit.
everybody in that who works control rooms essentially.
Yeah, and I love the detail of it. So, Cory, Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about Bradley real quick, and I'll toss
Okay.
Cory over to you because I think
Okay.
Cory is the more interesting
Mm-hmm.
conversation between him and Celine, and what the whole plan is between both sides and
Yeah.
their dynamics this episode, including the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But Bradley is searching the archives. So Beth Ann left some information for Chip or showed it on her phone last episode. Bradley's checking the archives, can't find anything, lets Chip know. And then Bradley gets a text from Cory about meeting near the control room. I think they're in the talent stage manager's office or something like that. Now, let me tell you something, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
If these ain't two of the wildest
Stupid.
motherfuckers I've ever seen, stupid, dumb, those are the correct terms. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You that horny? Like, you miss her that much at the job? My
They're in
nigga.
love.
It's just dumb. Like, Cory, you trying to make a big time deal, a big dog deal, multi-millions, and you ain't here fucking around with somebody who you were alleged. Come on, stop it. This is dumb.
Who's
Either way,
mic'd?
you said what?
Who's mic'd?
Who's mic'd? And if they weren't looking for Bradley, he would have tried to take it further.
For sure.
It just looks weird. I don't even want to risk coming out the same room. I'll leave 5 minutes after you. No, we're not doing none of that. Because why are you here, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cory, why are you here for real? Like, why are you in these hallways? You know what I mean? You should be on the floor above or whatever, doing what you got to do. It's just dumb. It just doesn't make sense. Chip shows up to you.
You've never been in love. You can't. No one's ever. You've never just wanted to see the person.
Yes, absolutely, Rachel. 100%. I'm glad you said that. But guess what? It's never happened when I've been ousted and shamed from the company and I'm trying to get back in. Maybe I can ease my way back in that motherfucker before I start trying to show public displays of affection. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not losing my job because of it.
He ain't got a job yet.
Exactly. So he lost the other one because of that shit.
He doesn't have anything to lose.
Yeah, he lost the other one because of that shit. He ain't gonna have one if he keep fucking around.
I'm ready. Tell me, Campbell.
I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for all that. I'm not ready for Chip. Smarter than this. I think that's what really bothers me. Chip's smarter than this.
Cory.
I don't know. Yeah, Cory. I'm looking at Chip on my screen, but Cory's smarter than this. So that's why it kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
Going back to Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Chip shows up to UBN, tells her that the lawyer, Kenneth Stockton, has some negative stories about him from Eagle News. Shout out to the fake Cincinnati Herald. We found out this place is in Ohio, and apparently it's in Cincinnati or near there. This attorney was causing a lot of trouble. Then one day he unalived himself, and then the story stopped. Seems a little bit weird to Chip. Doesn't think it's a coincidence. Bradley calls Ashley from Eagle News for a favor, to which she doesn't get until Alex assists by giving her some information on the oil rig again. Because now you finally tell me, see what happens when you tell me shit?
Yeah.
I can help you. It better work out. But it gets to the end of the episode, and I guess we'll kind of wait on this, when Bradley makes a discovery. So with Bradley and what she had going on, it really wasn't a big, heavy Bradley episode. More so her and Chip messing around, and then still investigating. Why do I keep saying Chip? Thank you. Her and Cory messing around, and then her and Chip investigating the story, which is kind of what she's been doing for the past few episodes. I'm gonna be all the way real. She hasn't really had too much else to do besides that. Any comment on that before you get into Cory or Chip?
No, not really. I've told you I have a side eye for Bradley. She's been getting a side
Yeah,
eye for me. I really don't trust her return. I understand what she's doing, like I said, with the Alex of it all, but I just, eh,
something
Bradley
feels
gets a
weird.
side eye for me. Shout out to Love though. Shout out to Cory being reckless. Shout out to Reckless Love. Um, and
Too
it's not
rich.
worth it.
He too rich for reckless love, man. You can't
Is he? He's
too
not
much on the
rich.
line.
This is the thing. Cory is broke,
Yeah, Corey's bankrupt.
essentially. In rich people terms, Cory doesn't have anything. He's leveraged all of his income. He lost so much because of this love for Bradley. This movie's going belly up. Like, I don't have anything. And I immediately thought of one of my favorite references. Praise this. Shout out to Quavo.
Mm-hmm.
When you're desperate, you'll do anything. See what money make a bitch do? So
Mm-hmm.
again, Cory is back at UBN, and we learned last week that Celine had propositioned him. Okay, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Here we are. Now we're seeing the fruits of said labor. You come in, and Celine, we've said it since we met her. Pause. Shout out to Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises.
Rises. I was like, oh, I was trying to figure out where I knew her from, and then it was ironically you on HBO the other
Yeah,
day.
Yanko was in there too.
Yes, I
Yanko
knew
was the mayor.
that. Yes, sure was. Shout out to the darkness, but so Celine is not really making good on her promise to Cory, but here she is, and she's parading him around the office, and we see, I heard what you're talking about. I know what you said that you want, but here I am with something else to offer you. Cory being Cory is like, what's the deal? Celine, tell me what you have on Stella. We
Mm.
have been trying to figure out Celine and Stella's relationship. This, aside from Stella sleeping with her husband, this let me know exactly where Celine and Stella stand. Celine hates Stella. She doesn't trust her. Take Cory out of it. That just added fuel to the flame
Mm-hmm.
with whatever. Now you talk shit about Cory all this time, and now you're trying to bring him back. You trust his ideas. He's this and the third. Cory's over in this town. We all know that. And I'm upper crust. I really, really know Cory. That's how I know it's some shit. And so now here Cory is, the person that I do have an established rapport with, that I know is desperate. I'm going to dangle another carrot in front of you. I'm going to give you more than what you asked for. I'm bringing you back
Mm-hmm.
tenfold. And we've wrestled with the thought of, is Cory a villain or not?
I think the end of the episode kind of marks it.
Yeah. So
Feeling's such a tricky word.
Cory does his best to stand his ground, to hold it down for Stella. He says, you know what, I've already sold myself. So initially, he doesn't give Celine what she wants, which is the right thing to do, because even though Stella didn't technically get you the job, you honored whatever agreement y'all had. Stella's not here. She's away at an AI conference, which again makes me think of Stella and the deep fake of it all. She loves that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been there. Cory runs into Chip, who shouldn't even have his ass in the offices. No damn
Right.
way. Two people who have no business
Right. Neither
in
one of y'all.
UPN meeting, and thus creating dynamic equilibrium, a spontaneous combustion of a clusterfuck that is going to turn UBN upside down. Here, Chip is who's unceremoniously left and has written a book and done all these things and really doesn't need to be helping Bradley, because we learned that he's amassing some sort of success. They're turning it into a movie. They're doing all of these things off of my work. And here is Cory, who was the top dog and now has come back begging for bread, essentially.
I got it.
Nothing. Go ahead.
I have a question for you. When I
Mm-hmm.
saw this scene, I thought two different things. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get your opinion on this. You see, y'all know I talk about expression acting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You see the expression on Cory's face as Chip is talking, and it just
Mm-hmm.
keeps getting lower and lower.
Despondent. Mm-hmm.
Is that because Cory feels, and this might be one of those two things can be true. Does Cory feel, man, I had a hard fall from the top, I need to get back? Or is it that Chip, respectfully, you a little nigga to me, and you're doing better than I am right now? This can't happen. This is upsetting the natural order of things. Do you think he was kind of offended, not offended, but disappointed that someone like Chip, who he never saw as an equal, got more play than him in an area that he's trying to be successful? Or is it I'm trying to get back to where I was? Like, I'm Cory Ellison. I'm big dog.
It's all of that, but less
Mm-hmm.
about Chip and more about what Celine said. Nobody's checking for you.
Yeah.
And so, in regards to Chip, it is the realization that, hold up, Celine might have been right. She's not trying to hurt my feelings, because y'all should be checking for me. But the fact that nobody is, and you have your sights set on Chip's ass, confirms that nobody is, in fact, missing me, looking for my voice. It is a reality check of, oh shit, I can't talk my way out of this one. I can't necessarily scheme my way out of it. You know, he does. I'm really out here on my own, essentially. I'm really out here starting from the bottom, trying to claw my way back up. And here is Chip with the world at his feet. The world is his current oyster at this current moment, and there's nothing I can do about it. I wasn't ready for that. I knew that I was between a rock and a hard place. I knew that things were messed up with me. I wasn't quite where I wanted to be, but I didn't know it was like that. God damn, even Chip is getting
Yeah.
looks that I don't want to say he shouldn't be, but even he's getting the looks and I'm getting nothing. I had to
Yeah.
scheme my way back up in here. I had to blackmail somebody to even get an iota of an opportunity. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Celine is right. And she didn't really give me the job. So I'm leaving. I'm on my way out with my tail between my legs. And I'm Cory. I can't go out like that. Now I got to tell. Now I got to
Got to.
expose some shit, because I cannot leave here. I'm leaving with something.
Leave here with something.
I can't leave here with nothing. And so Cory comes back to Celine. I got what you want. You've already paraded me around here. The people know if I'm not back, there is something to it. Let's figure it out. Now, here's the thing. This is exactly what the fuck Celine gets. Because when you play in the mud, you get fucking dirty. When you go looking for dirt, you find it. Cory tells her, what do I have on Stella? She's sleeping with Miles. They're having an affair. The gut punch that
Yeah.
is. Because that is not at all what Celine was expecting. She's expecting, hey, I found out she's the one who did the deep fake on Alex. Hey, she's siphoning money to do XYZ. You're looking for a business reason to cut Stella out of the equation. Not that she's sleeping with your husband. Not that she's trying to take your man, girl. And now here you are with the stuck face old girl in court meme, because what can you do?
And it answered the question, if anybody was like me and maybe a little bit on the edge of this, the Celine, no. Remember I brought this up last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Are we sure Celine doesn't know? She definitely didn't know.
She ain't know. I told you she ain't know.
She had no clue. And one thing I was going to say about Cory's character, you were saying something along the lines of, we really don't know Cory, and I think that's one of the best things about him.
Yeah.
Which is why we're still 4 seasons in. We're questioning: are you a good guy? Or are you a villain? Are you this or are you that? I thought it was perfect the way Celine left everything with him.
Yeah.
Put the ball in your court. You know, nobody's, as you mentioned, nobody's checking for you. Nobody's waiting for Cory Ellis's comeback. Good luck with your movie if you ever make it. Nigga, I got the big joker. Like, there's nothing you can do. I have no business goes on as usual.
For sure.
If you walk out those doors, you need me, don't need you.
For sure.
And we talked about him being despondent, talking to Chip. He really didn't want to tell her that. He didn't want to break that news to her. That's some big shit, right? I'm using this as a business leverage. And low-key, I'm low-key a scumbag. Right? If I'm Cory. Because I'm using your husband's affair as leverage with the person he's having the affair with to get what I want. You know what I mean? Versus coming to you, or even though why would I do that? But versus coming to you, or at least saying whatever the case may be. Like we're all guilty in this.
Yeah.
Which is probably part of the reason why Cory's like, man, I ain't even trying to tell you this.
Yeah. Nobody's hands are clean.
So my question for you, we get into Rachel Damas. What do you think Celine does with this information? Is this going to be a slow burn? She holds on to it until she figures out her next move, or do you think it's going to be a swift, both of y'all out of here? Miles, Stella?
No. Celine is calculated. Celine is going to, now having this information, she is going to gather as much evidence, match as many times and places and stories, and figure out. And again, it's something with that painting or some of those paintings. We know the doorman at the studio was easy to give Cory the information that, yeah, Stella is here often. What makes you think he's not going to also give it to Celine? Celine is going to do her investigative journalism, figure some things out, catch their asses up, and stick the knife. But she's not going to be nice. Like, she's going to be cold, but not cold enough as to where they suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be little shit. Death by 1,000 cuts.
Is Cory going to tell Stella that he told Celine?
No.
Interesting.
Why would I?
Nah, that's fair. But when you see him back in the building,
as far as Stella knows,
because Celine, yeah,
she bought it.
Might think she got that shit done. I got the job done.
We have have a relationship.
Is there any possibility that Celine calls Mia, says, "Hey, I wanted to keep you. That was Stella that got you up out of here. I want to offer you Stella's job."
Oh, she very well could, because that's true.
Yeah, a little bit. Celine kind of forced her hand.
She did, but again, Celine knew that there was something that Stella was doing that was underhanded. She didn't do it because she felt like Ben was truly just the best. She trying to figure out what the fuck Stella got going on.
Yeah, good point. Fair. Fair. That's gonna be interesting. Keep an eye on. I'm sure we get it this very next episode. And then lastly, as Bradley and Chip are talking, Bradley looks through some documents and realizes that the law firm on the documents are the same as Earl. Earl is Cory's fixer. Earl's the one that Cory has do all his has him perform all his dirt, as well as he's the one that leaked the story.
Yeah.
To their version of TMZ, whoever they are, about him and Alex, or Alex and what's her name? Laura Peterson. Laura Bradley? No, Laura Peterson. Is that her name? Yeah, Peterson. Laura Peterson. Yeah, okay, got you. Either way, we know Cory's the one who covered up this story that that Bradley and Chip are investigating, and Cory is now a true villain if he wasn't before. The episode ends with Cory waiting on Bradley with a big smile, and Bradley realizing this man could be a monster. What are you thinking about all of this? Is this a misunderstanding? Is Cory finally having his villain arc? How do you think this plays out between them? It kind of feels a little bit like Alex and Paul from last year.
Yeah, I would give it that. Here's the thing: at this current juncture, Cory knows nothing of the investigation, let alone the discoveries. So he's still all in with Bradley. Bradley doesn't know what to do because the reality is that she doesn't have a great poker face. I think she's gonna try to play it cool for a second, but then somehow she's gonna spill the beans about it. She's gonna try not out him, but she's gonna try to get the story. So
we'll see.
It doesn't last.
I don't know.
Relationships.
I don't know. I'm actually more. I'm gonna be real all the way real with you, Rachel. I don't know if I said this last week. I'm kind of over this story. I don't care about what Bradley and Chip are into. I really don't.
Cory or Chip?
No, Bradley and Chip. This time I'm great. Whatever they're investigating, the story that they're chasing down, I just don't have any interest in it. I'm much more interested in Mia and.
So you don't care about pollution,
Alex? I do.
You don't care about people dying. There are people.
I do care about it, but I think we've seen the big story. Let's break the news on the cover up with the morning show. I think that's what it is. This has been going on since season 1, which is, I know some of you are out there listening and rolling your eyes like, nigga, it's a news story. It's a news show. Like, of course, part of the plot is going to be them uncovering news. I get it. I understand that. But I feel like there's much more interesting things going on. More salacious, one might say.
Yeah.
With the whole Miles and Stella affair, Celine finding out, the Chip and Bradley messing around, the Paul getting back with Alex, the Chris of it all. We talked about her family. Of course, there's going to be some news that comes out this upcoming episode. The Mia of it all. All of that is much more fascinating than Yanko's proposal and these random ass, truth teller stories that Bradley's trying to pursue.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe it does heat up. It's halfway point, right? We're going to get to the halfway point next episode. And I think the last 5 episodes are where things are going to pick up. So still a good season, still enjoying it. I just, that part I could, if that's a minor role in next week's episode, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah. I wish it was I don't want to say a better story. But I'm curious. I have to think of what that story relates to in real time, like in our life in this dimension, because they do try to stick to various stories, i.e. the planes falling apart and whatnot.
No, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah. So that's all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. Please continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the We Got Y'all podcast. You can also message us at We Got Y'all podcast@gmail.com. We Got Y'all pod on Instagram. Let us know. You can also follow us on YouTube under the Culture Garden feed. Stay tuned over there if you are not already. We've got some things. Kieron is doing quite a bit. He's very busy. So stay tuned. Thank you, guys.
All right. Appreciate y'all. We out.
Peace.